The top stories. There's a call for lower intra-Caribbean airfares. The BDF holds its first court-martial in 16 years, and a Caribbean Airlines plane is to be named after Nelson Mandela. Welcome to Nation News for Wednesday, December the 11th, 2013. I'm Bertram Niles.
You want your loved ones around to celebrate, especially those living far. And with Digicel Top-Up, Dad can help you bring life to the party and be part of the celebration. Ask him to send you Digicel Minutes. Receive free instant additional credit. Stay connected here and there. Ask your family abroad to send Digicel Minutes today.
There's a new call for lower travel costs between Caribbean nations to boost the struggling tourism sector. The president of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, Patricia Affonso-Dass, made the comment at the final quarterly members' meeting for the year.
There is a need to have cheaper airfares inter-Caribbean, especially between Trinidad and Barbados. Trinidadians tend not to fly on LIAT for their leisure breaks, and the rates currently in effect on Caribbean Airlines are a deterrent cost-wise. Trinidadians can probably fly to Miami for the same fare. Through the marketing committee of the BHTA, we're looking at offering an incentive to LIAT passengers from specific islands at strategic periods during 2014 to generate traffic into Barbados.
The Defense Force hasn't had a court-martial, which is a military trial, for 16 years, until today, when Pamela Cox, a Lance Corporal, pleaded guilty to misbehavior. According to the court, the mother of one was spotted on Kadooment Day at the corner of Brighton and Blackrock, displaying conduct that was not in keeping with her status while on sick leave. The 34-year-old was sentenced to 7 days detention in a cell. However, for health reasons, that time will be spent in the Health Services Department of the Force. Captain Graham Rochford, a BDF spokesman, told Nation News about the proceedings.
This morning we had a court-martial convened because we had a situation where a soldier would have contravened one of the standing orders of the Barbados Defense Force, and they would have refused to accept the punishment at a lower level, which would have been the equivalent of a magistrate's court. The court-martial is the equivalent of a high court, and that would have been done in order to deal with the matter.
A sound competition for schools has been launched by the Copyright Society known as COSCAP.
The competition will help young people to become more appreciative of the creativity that they have within themselves, to produce music and also to be athletes as well. And it also garners to help bring back that whole notion of having fun and competitiveness at the sports level, and also for young people also to get involved in creating songs that will help to propel their school even at the games.
The winning school will receive a desktop computer, and there will be other prizes such as tablets and restaurant vouchers. The Caribbean Airlines jet that flew Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar and other Caribbean officials to South Africa for Nelson Mandela's memorial will be named after him. Mrs. Persad-Bissessar made the announcement in Johannesburg. The Nelson Mandela aircraft, a Boeing 767, is used on the London and Toronto routes of Caribbean Airlines. The head of Jamaica's Petro-Caribe fund says the country has not made the most of the concessional oil deal with Venezuela. Jamaica has piled up $2.4 billion in debt under the program, repaying about $100 million annually. The program manager, Wesley Hughes, said Jamaica continued to use precious foreign exchange in doing so, rather than through bartering goods such as cement, chicken, and rice, as is permitted. There's one story that has kept tongues wagging in the Bahamas this week. It's the armed robbery at the home of the acting Prime Minister Philip Davis. Mr. Davis and his wife were held up in what Bahamians say is a high-profile symptom of the country's terrible crime problem. As to Mr. Davis, whose nickname is Brave, he made light of the incident, saying, "They don't call me brave for nothing." In international news, family, friends, and heads of state have filed past the glass-topped coffin of Nelson Mandela to bid farewell as he lay in state for the first of 3 days. His widow, Gracia Michel, was among those who viewed the body of the former South African leader. Then it was the turn of thousands of people who queued for miles. Earlier, hundreds also lined the streets as the flight-covered coffin passed through Pretoria, led by a team of military outriders. His funeral, Mr. Mandela's funeral, will take place in his home village of Kunu in Eastern Cape Province on Sunday. Now, the unknown man who provided sign language interpretation on stage for Nelson Mandela's memorial service has been revealed to be a fake. Bruno Drucken, the National Director of the Deaf Federation of South Africa, said the man was moving his hands around, but there was no meaning in what he used his hands for. Mr. Drucken said the interpreter was not using American Sign Languages nor South African Sign Language, which covers all of the country's 11 official languages. The government said it was preparing a statement when queried on the issue.
At Courts, every day we bring affordability, convenience, innovation, and style to over 1 million customers in 11 countries. From homes to communities, we are proud to make a difference in the lives of many across the region. Courts, bringing value home.
In sport, West Indies will have to come from behind yet again to make an impact in their Test series in New Zealand. After being dropped to naught, Ross Taylor scored 129 to see New Zealand from the uncertainty of 26 for 2 to a strong 307 for 6 on the first day of the second Test. Taylor scored a double century in the series opener. Still in cricket, $4,000 will be on offer in tomorrow's winner-takes-all segment of the Inter-Parish T20 cricket competition. It's an all-country affair between St. John Crusaders and St. Andrew Rhythm. Last night at the 3Ws Oval, St. John scored 119 for 5 to beat the St. Michael Merchants by 43 runs. On Monday night, Barbados player Jonathan Carter led St. Andrew with 49 off 36 balls in their 7-run win over St. Lucie Pirates. St. Andrew scored 98 for 6 in a match reduced to 15 overs. St. Lucie came up short in their chase with 91 for 6. Princess Margaret had the biggest win in the final round of matches this term in the Coca-Cola Schools Under-19 football competition. Princess Margaret beat the St. Michael 4-1. Princess Margaret had the biggest win in the final round of matches this term in the Coca-Cola Schools Under-19 football competition. Princess Margaret beat the St. Michael 4-1. Pine Hill St. Leonard's defeated Queen's College 2-1. Colgan Parry edged Leicester Vaughan 2-1, and the Lodge beat Alexandra 2-0. The competition will conclude next term. Finally, as an experiment last week, Business Week magazine typed the names of the 50 American states into Google to see what people most frequently asked about them. Some of the questions were dumb, their word. So I did the same about Barbados using Google's autocomplete function. You type, "Is Barbados?" into the search bar, pause, and you're given questions based on what others have asked before. The results? Is Barbados safe? Is Barbados expensive? Is Barbados a country? And is Barbados in Jamaica? Yeah, have you heard that before? Those were the top questions asked when I checked. And that's Nation News for today, December the 11th. I'm Bertrand Niles. Do join us again tomorrow if you can.